So you've decided that you want either the MS1 2-point sling or one of our single-point to 2-point convertible slings. Now we need to figure out how to attach it to your rifle. We make a number of different hardware options that can be used to configure your sling attachments to your preferences in a variety of attachment methods, including M-LOK and Picatinny rail. For the basic MS1, you have the most options when it ships without attachments. You can use any combination of loops, paraclips, QDs, or Uncle Mike swivels that you would like to place on your rifle as long as the attachments you place on the sling match up. The MS1 with dual QDMs included will, of course, need QD sockets in both front and rear mounting positions. Next come all the convertibles. Keep in mind that if you want the best single point operation, it makes sense to have a sling attachment option near the rear of the receiver for that mode, and that 2-point operations can be more ideal with the rear attachment on the side of your stock that is away from your center line, but it also works with the rear of the receiver attachment as well. The standard MS3 will require a paraclip loop or other compatible attachment in both the front and rear positions. The MS3 QD will require a paraclip loop up front and a QD socket in the rear. The MS4 requires QDs up front and in the rear. Let's take a look at how to make all that happen. We'll start at the back end of the rifle. Nearly all of our stocks have a webbing loop of some kind built in, which is the lightest and least expensive method of attaching your sling. Many of our stocks also include a built-in QD or an option for installing one if you want to use a QD swivel or a QDM. For stocks that don't include a QD socket but have locations for socket attachment like the SGA, the Hunters, the Zukov, and others, the Type 1 QD sling mount is what you need to add that capability. If you want QD sockets on both sides of one of the stocks with these sockets, you need one Type 1 and one Type 2, which go on alternate sides. If you have a stock with a Type 1 already included, like the STR, and want to add a socket to the other side, the Type 2 is what you need. The SLK is an outlier in that to add QD functionality, you use an M-LOK QD sling mount, which you'd normally see on front ends. If you'd like to attach your sling to any of our stocks with a paraclip instead of a QD, then it's as easy as plugging in the QD paraclip adapter, which turns any QD socket into a paraclip loop. If you like the idea of converting quickly from single point into 2-point functionality, you will probably want an attachment point somewhere closer to the rear of the receiver. Some of our stocks like the UBR, the Zukov, and others have an attachment point there already. On ARs, the ASAP plate can be added for the paraclip attachment, and the QD ASAP plate can be added for an extremely clean QD attachment that is angled down for easier access. Moving on to the front of the rifle, if you have a free float rail of any kind, you may already have one or more QD locations available. Even if you do, sometimes those attachment positions can allow the sling to hang in a way that interferes with rifle manipulations, so you may want an alternative. For all M-LOK handguards, including our Moe, Zukov, Hunter, and X22 products, you can add an M-LOK QD sling mount. If you have a Picatinny rail out front, you can use the RSA QD, which offsets your mounting point from the rail to keep it tucked in and out of the way of other rail-mounted accessories. If you prefer the paraclip as a front attachment, then you can use the M-LOK paraclip mount or the RSA if you have a Picatinny rail you'd rather use. You can also insert a QD paraclip mount into an existing QD on your handguard. For more conventional sling attachments, the M-LOK bipod mount can also be used to attach Uncle Mike style sling swivels, and for our stocks that have dimpled areas for stud mounting, you can order convenient 2-packs of threaded sling studs. Even if you're looking for a more traditional way to mount your sling, you still have the option to do so on an M-LOK handguard with the M-LOK GI sling swivel. One last product I'd like to mention is the MSA QD Moe sling attachment. This was originally designed to give owners of Moe slot forends a really clean way to add a QD attachment, but it's actually a remarkably versatile little mount, so we've kept it in the line. You can use this little guy to add an anti-rotation QD socket almost anywhere that you can drill a hole. I've used it to attach our slings to wooden stock lever action rifles and to make sling storage racks, but some gunsmithing is obviously required. For more information about our sling mounting products, visit magpul.com and see the product descriptions for the mounts as well as for the stocks and handguards to plan out your system.